it. So I got to ask you, Bruce, first of all, welcome to Fox 5. I'm glad you're going to be with us as we all get to experience the World Cup together. That video of you was from back in 1990, but you played in the World Cup. Before you put on your analyst hat, tell us what it was like as a player to be on the world's greatest stage.
Oh, it was just incredible. I mean, I couldn't believe I was playing against some of the guys I was playing against. The Italy team was the best team they've ever had. Maldini and Baresi and all these crazy players that we just heard about. And all of a sudden, I'm on the field getting kicked by the same players. I'm thinking, oh, wait a second here. We're not going to be friends today. So
a lot of jitters leading up to the World Cup, or were you guys kind of so young you didn't know better?
You know, we were like young golfers. Like we just, every 10-foot putt, we just poured in because we didn't care. We just figured, you know what, we're playing with the house money. We're over here. Let's go have fun.
Size of the stadium didn't matter. The game was played the same, right?
No, 80,000 people. That doesn't matter. You don't even think about that.
It's crazy. You played in front of eight or 8,000. I forget which one it was.
Yeah, but it's more like 18. Yeah.
All right, Bruce, we're going to put you to work. Here's the deal. We have 2 matches today. We're so excited. World Cup kicks off in just about 2.5 hours. Bruce, head on over to the big board right now because we're going to showcase the 2 matches we have today. The first one, Mexico, South Africa. The second, Korea and Czechia. Let's start with Mexico.
We call this Bruce's breakdown. Take it away, Bruce.
I appreciate it. Mexico, South Africa. A game that clearly favors Mexico, but South Africa can be a spoiler here. Incredibly athletic. They run a mid-block defense. So in other words, they turn it over, they're already in your half of the field. They don't sit back behind the ball, but they are very, very athletic. Mexico, Raul Jimenez up top. A lot of players, Gilberto Mara, maybe the best young player in the world. We talked about him yesterday. He might be this breakout player in the World Cup. Mexico, a lot of talent, guys, but this is something that I found out yesterday. Mexico has not won a knockout game since 1986, which is absolutely phenomenal to me because you always think in the World Cup, if there isn't a team, you think, wait a second, Mexico might win it. But they haven't even won a knockout game.
So, Bruce, I want to talk to you about home field advantage because over the last 30 years when I've been paying attention to soccer, all the players talk about that altitude and the deafening roar of that stadium. Is that a true home field advantage?
The Estadio Azteca is a home field advantage, man. It is rocking the whole time. There's going to be about 87,000. When I played, there was 110. Wow. But now the stadium's been configured to a little bit lower.
So real quick, before we make some predictions here, what do you think about the second match between Korea and Czechia? Overall, will this be a closer match, you think, than the first one?
I think it'll be closer. Czechia is a very hard-working, industrious team. Not a lot of superstars. Patrick Schick from Leverkusen is probably the name you want to remember because Patrick Schick is really good in the air, and he's a big 6'4" guy up top. They have scored 8 qualifying goals off of set pieces, so that's something you need to watch. Korea, we all think of Son, and obviously all the Korean players. Korea has 7 players in the Premier League. They have players in Germany. They have players at Paris Saint-Germain. You want to talk about a team you might want to think about, like as a wild card? It might be Korea.
Come back over here because it's easy to pick one game, Bruce. It's hard to pick one team out of 48 that you think is going to go all the way. But since we're just getting started, just for fun, who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
Well, I think that, the big boys of the big boys, maybe Spain, but I don't necessarily think it will be one of the big teams. I think a team like Japan might slip up there. And I know I told Marina last week. She put me on camera saying I picked Japan. And it's a possibility. It's a really good team.
Right,
they look like a team that really works together. I want to go France or Spain, but I'm going to go in a different direction because finally I think they are due. I think the English beat Argentina in the final.
The English would love to do that because they have a history.
Now, we'll see if they don't crash and burn because they like to do that. Maybe this is their turn.
Yes.
They like to get close. I'm going to do what neither of you wanted to do. I'm taking Spain to win the whole thing. I know they're a favorite along with France, but I think they'll do it. And then I have the Netherlands slotted right behind them as a potential semi-sleeper. So there you go. We're on record. We'll see how that works out throughout the World Cup. So we appreciate you being along with us, and we're going to have some fun throughout the morning as well. As we go to break, though, let's learn a little bit more about Mexico. Obviously, we know the language of Mexico is Spanish, the official language. The country's population is just shy of 130 million, so just about a third the size of the United States. El Tri, you will hear that a lot. El Tri refers to the three colors of the Mexican flag, and that's how they typically refer to the soccer team. And as far as who to watch, aside from what Bruce mentioned earlier, Edson Alvarez, one of the key players on the team, but they have that 17-year-old who is really, really good.